but we feel like this is a little bit attack sided now. It's a big task though, because you got to feel like the pressure's kind of on right now. If you lose this one, hey, it's over.
Yeah, this is a big moment. This is make or break for college dropouts, as college dropouts are going to be swapping over to the attacking side as well, and so we'll see them in red this time around, whereas No Mercy will be actually in green into this second map. And so keep your eyes out for that. We've got to get a win here for college dropouts. If they are able to win on the attacking side, we'll go to game 3. However, if No Mercy is able to hold on any of these points, there it is. Thank you so much, production. No Mercy, if they hold on A1, A2, or C1 and C2, maybe even it's B, I don't care. If they hold at all, No Mercy will be the victors of the EU finals. Red has to win this. College dropouts have to win this to force game 3, or they are out of this competition already. Here's our quick dogfight. Fault is a cinematic map, man. This is crazy start.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. We saw how much impact the Jet had over course of all 3 sectors. You got to imagine if you are on the defensive side of things, you are going to want to go ahead and win that dogfight, because we saw how much pressure the Jet was able to apply on the attack side of things. And yeah, you know how Fault goes, right? We are instantly already kind of involved, already pressuring the sector here, A sector. And I will say, I'm not 100% sure if it came from the Jet on Jet combat, but we do still have the same Jet operator on the side of No Mercy. That's going to be Columbus 13. And I did see them pick up a kill in the kill feed already. I'm not sure if that was on the other Jet, but you got to imagine if Columbus 13 is alive picking up kills, then I think No Mercy might have won again.
Yeah, if they won that early Jet encounter, I'm going to be honest. I was looking at the team chats. The only thing college dropouts were talking about in the team chat was, hey, we got to win the Jet fight. Anybody want to take the Jet? Who do we think is going to win the Jet? Can we win the Jet fight, please? That was basically everything that they were saying. And so I'm seeing Columbus again in the kill feed. I think you might be right. The dogfight might have gone to No Mercy, which means they may have controlled the skies yet again. We'll see how that all plays out here shortly, as No Mercy seems to hold on A1 and A2, at least for now.
Oh, I mean, they absolutely have held. If we talk about game number 1, right? No Mercy actually had the entirety of Sector A captured, and they had 160 tickets left. We are already below 160, and we are about halfway through capturing A2 right now. So this is kind of what I was talking about, right? Making sure you put a dampening on the economy of the attack. If they do end up, picking up Sector A, hey, we got to make sure their tickets are already down right now, and No Mercy kind of winning that game already. It's looking good for them.
Yeah, it's looking really good. Playing really well together thus far, but let's see what they're able to do here as A2 finally falling to the attacking side, getting some decent value. As a reminder, the attack does end up getting pretty good amount of vehicles on the ground, traditionally speaking, on Fault, so watch out for those as they come spawning in. I think the problem is the Jet knows that as well, and our Jet operator is definitely going to be paying attention to which vehicles are coming in, and can he lay down some covering fire, potentially take the vehicles out before they get involved. That would be a huge boon, of course, for the defensive side, and will absolutely dictate who wins this map. It's going to come down to air superiority. It's going to come down to these vehicles on the ground. And so far, A1 now going to the attacking side as they slowly but surely take our very first point.
And we can sit here and we can talk about who like the top Slayer is, what the air dominance is kind of looking like, who's doing the best in the vehicles, how many tickets they have left. But there's always another side of these competitions that we don't talk about a lot, and it's going to be the mental game. If your entire team chat is talking about winning the dogfight off rip and you lose it, I mean, that's terrible, right? Like your whole team's like, oh great, we lost the aerial fight, and it kind of feels like the thing's already over. So I do feel bad for college dropouts right now. Ooh, wait a minute.
Take a look at it. Oh, okay. Well, all right. My bad.
Got us.
I think it was Full Tank that decided to take the attacker side. I don't think this is a replay, by the way. If it was, production, you can let me know. Maybe that was a replay. That was live. They said, okay, we literally are cursing everything that we talk about. Maybe we should just shut the heck up. I don't know what's going on. But unfortunately, all of our suspicions weren't correct, but they ended up being right. A little bit of prophecy foretold here, as it is Columbus winning the fight in the air. And I wonder if Voltaic maybe got weak and just backtracked and ran out of here for a while, came back and finally got punished. Either way you look at it, the defense, yes, they lost A1 and A2, but they have won the skies. We do have full lives, though, Vivid, going into B1, B2.
Yeah, actually very, very surprising right there. I was kind of talking about the ticket economy and how it looked like there had been a big chunk taken out. And there was, right? They were down to about 130, but I feel like we blinked. We were kind of laughing about, Columbus picking up the Lotte kill, and then, oh, wow, Sector A is captured. Okay, cool. I don't know what just happened or how that coin flipped so fast, but yeah, on to the B sector right now. And again, this is going to be one of those ones where very, very hard to get involved. The cliff here that you do have to traverse is very difficult, right? Because the head glitches at the defensive side can kind of peek over the top of that cliff. It's very, very strong, but already I am actually seeing quite a big and significant push from the attack side. Somehow they've already managed their way up to the cliff, it looks like.
Yeah, quickly up here. Attack, college dropouts finding some footing on the map. Here's a quick look over the top. And speaking of a battle of the skies, we've got the attackers with a helicopter for no much more than maybe a second or two. And that is one of the things that we were talking a bit about during the break. The players were talking about it as well. If you win the jet battle, that jet can take down a helicopter quickly. And I think a combination of the jet and maybe some ground fire, our attacker helicopter gone immediately, which is bad news for a team that desperately needs a win.
I mean, the chemistry right there, right? A synchronized attack from a ground vehicle and the jet at the same exact time to make sure that helicopter does not find any value. Well done from No Mercy to go ahead and kind of find that cohesion to go ahead and dominate right now. And yeah, if you keep your eyes peeled for just a couple of seconds towards the top right of your screen, towards that kill feed, I mean, it's just vehicle filled for the defensive side. The vehicle economy definitely in their favor.
You saw another attacker vehicle on the ground get exploded, so huge advantage. B1 and B2, 30 lives gone in a blink of an eye, and B1 and B2 basically haven't been touched yet. Now, this is decently standard, like you were talking about. This kind of entry point into these first 2 points can be quite difficult, so the attackers can find an entry point, maybe put down some respawn beacons.
Oh,
could be pretty huge. Unfortunately, I think Little J, I think maybe blew up his own anti-tank mines and gonna respawn for us.
That's awesome. Not only does he go down because of that, right, but he spent a lot of time putting those mines down, and now they're all but not. So a little bit of a waste, but hey, we win some, we lose some. And we were kind of talking about how it felt like the defensive side of things had a pretty strong foot on the B sector, even though the attack side had so many vehicles in that last game. But now it's the flip-flop, right? The defense has a lot of vehicles. Are they going to be able to kind of get onto these points where it's pretty hard just because of all of the buildings that are around and all of the choke points? You got to imagine if you find a vehicle in a choke point, it should be pretty easy for the attack side to go ahead and blow them up.
Yeah, true.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, I like that shout. I think this is the moment where we can play a little bit slower as the attackers with the vehicles and make sure we keep them alive going into C. But you obviously don't want to hedge your bets if you have any that you can't even make it to C. So you're probably going to have to get aggressive. Once you get aggressive, these vehicles are definitely able to be blown up on either side. But I bet the defense is going to play nice and slow with their vehicles as they have a very easy hold, and any attacker vehicle is going to have to play aggro and probably get punished for it. I like that shot a lot. Right now, the defense is unstoppable. Again, both points in full control.
Not to be that guy here, Goj, but, Store Life there on the defensive side of things, playing Nox in Warfare. What do we feel about the value of Nox in Warfare?
Yeah, maybe on B2. Let me come back to it because I will say John the Bomb.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's in the helicopter, that's for sure. And he's actually peppering this jet. We've got the battle for air superiority. John the Bomb known to be clutch in the moment when his team needs him most. And he's got to win a aerial battle between a jet and a helicopter when he's on the heli side. I don't like his odds, but so far, I think he's got a little bit of a health advantage because he is full health still. And the only thing he is looking at is getting rid of this jet, which is going to be very difficult in this heli. You're really skilled. It is possible, but you've got to hit your shots and you got to take advantage of it. And it's just pass after pass as it does look like Columbus is back to full health now and is so much more maneuverable than this helicopter. Can even make some bombing runs down below as John the Bomb climbs the skies and then tries to hunt down his prey. This is warfare right here. This is a battle for the ages, and it certainly is distracting a few folks down on the point.
I was actually going to make the point that, hey, listen, John the Bomb, yeah, they may not even have to take out the jet.
Yep.
They can just stay alive and keep Columbus distracted, then they're kind of losing the value of the jet anyway. And then as I was kind of thinking about saying that, I watched Columbus make like a bomb run down towards B as he's like under attack by a helicopter. Like Columbus 13 is doing such a good job in the jet right now for No Mercy. It is insane.
Yeah, it is one of those things I saw the players talking about. Was like, hey, is anybody experienced in the jet? Like a decently new vehicle. Everybody loves helicopters. Everybody loves the tank destroyers and the M1A1 tanks and obviously the IFVs and everything down below that you could use. But not everybody's had a crazy amount of experience in the jet. I mean, there's only a couple that spawn in. Not even every single map has one. So somebody's been practicing, and I think that somebody is Columbus. And it looks like the defense, although they were shaky for a moment on both points there, they're now fully restabilized, and it does look like Columbus continues to find kills while fighting John in the skies. That jet just so much more maneuverable than the helicopter, and John just struggling to stay alive right now as it looks like an Allure rocket's going to try to hit there to help out our jet in the sky.
No, that would be crazy. I would just watch him land an Allure rocket on a flying helicopter. That would be crazy. Back to the ground, though, right? The B sector is not even slightly captured for the attack side right now. B1, B2, fully in control for the defensive side of things. 60 tickets remaining right now. You know, college dropouts, yeah, they're kind of lighting up the feed right now, but in terms of the macro game across the entirety of the map, I cannot lie, Goj, it is looking quite grim.
Yeah, this is brutal. I gotta say, Columbus has been in the lab, but the defense just looks like the stronger team. Whether it's Be Quiet's draft, you can see on your screen right now, obviously we're watching D9, but Be Quiet and their squad, whether it's their drafting capabilities, their knowledge of the player base, or just a little happenstance of how they've been able to put together their team chemistry with a couple strong heroes. Columbus may be my MVP, but this team is the better team right now. There is no question about it. As No Mercy slowly but surely whittle down these lives. Finally, some value coming through from Yellow Love. The boys are putting all the effort that they can, even a data knife to the face. Yellow Love's giving everything he can to his opponents, and they have found some value on B1 Vivid, but they got to capture both. And right now, I only see 2 bodies on B2 quickly getting cut down as the defense restabilize over there.
Yeah, Fault Sector B could be the determining factor for who goes to Vietnam. Remember what is on the line right now. No Mercy have already picked up game number 1. They are currently 30 tickets away for booking themselves a trip to LAN right now. And as it currently stands, B1, B2 going back in their control, slowly creeping up, which means that they've got more men on those capture points right now, and the tickets, they're just dropping fast.
I can only assume, too, this urgent deployment time is coming in from No Mercy, as they have certainly rallied up a ton more score than their opponents. So you're going to see a ton of defenders onto the map very quickly with this new deployment time. You can give up and immediately spawn back in. Seeing some nice value over the top here from Funky, but either way you look at it, it's been a battle for the skies, and the battle for the skies has determined the battle on the ground. The defense has vehicles on the ground and in the skies. They've got advantages everywhere, and these lives are dwindling so dramatically. Holy cow, the attack goes down to 10 and counting. This is not even close. They're giving everything they can in the final moments, but Vivid, I think this is a defensive win. I think this is No Mercy taking it to the house, taking it to Vietnam.
4 tickets remaining. It's all but said and done. You just got to go ahead and close the book at this point. B1, yeah, the attack side, college dropouts, they made a final push towards the end. And as I say that, wait a minute, Goj. B2 is being captured fast.
Ran out.
Did 0. Oh,
ran out.
The push at the end, just a little bit too late. If that was just a little bit earlier, it looked like we actually had B sector that was up in the air, but No Mercy goes ahead and closes it out clean. They go ahead and stop through on attack. We talked about how hard that is to actually do. They go ahead and defend the second sector. They don't even take it to the third one. Just dominance throughout the entirety of the day.
Wow, No Mercy living up to their namesake, man. No Mercy, it is a best of 3, which means we've had 2 wins. They win on attack, they win on defense. Fault is theirs, and that also means the championship is theirs. They have won EU Finals. No Mercy, huge congratulations. Shout out to our commander. Be quiet. Holy cow. Whatever you did in the draft or prep or anything in between, honestly, just drafting Columbus changed the game. They win out on fault in a honestly beautiful and dynamic, dramatic fashion. All the different adjectives you can think of. That was domination at its finest. 2-0 here in the EU Finals. We started less than an hour ago, and somehow, some way, the competition is done. What are we talking about?
Yeah, what just happened, right? Feels like we blinked and all of the action is already over. Listen, that one started to look out very, very good early on for No Mercy, right? They were actually holding down the A sector. That seemed almost impossible after that first game, but no, they were kind of doing it. Made a little bit of pressure added on to the attack side of things. It made those tickets drop down all the way to 130. But sure enough, the attack kind of picked things up, and then we kind of know what followed after the A sector.
Yeah, I mean, it really was like, a moment where we're just paying attention to the air, because everybody in the team chats that we saw in Discord, and also basically in the game, you're seeing how much value the air support has. You're right. It was all paying attention to the air, and then the attackers actually found value in A1 and A2. And so we're like, okay, maybe they can play even though they don't have an advantage. But here's where the advantages came into play. As much as we were talking about B1 and B2 not being super favorable in terms of vehicle support, just because there's a lot more cover you can play around, it certainly played a pretty big piece of the puzzle of the win here for our No Mercy squad. Even the vehicles on the ground were an advantage for the defensive side. And so overall, there was just way too much firepower for our attackers to figure out how to get onto these points in a timely fashion.
This is going to be a little bit of copium right here, right? But as one-sided over the course of both of those games, as one-sided as the vehicle game was in favor of No Mercy, I feel like if College Dropouts was just a little bit better in the vehicles, then I feel like they would be the better team, right? Because, when you kind of look at how the matches were going, they were close enough. And when we think about how close those matches...
Last game first, though. Game 2. Vivid, talk to me about what you're seeing.
Oh my gosh. We were kind of talking about how the revives for College Dropouts was seemingly low, right? In the 21st of June, right there, picking up 45 of their own. I immediately saw 15,000 score way at the top of the leaderboard. How in the heck did they go ahead and do that? They decided to, try to put their team on their back right there in terms of providing that push coverage, right? Making sure those revives were kind of coming in for them. But, on the opposite side of things, we did not see Columbus towards the top of the scoreboard last game, even though there was complete and utter dominance out of the jet from them. But this game, getting the respect towards the top of the leaderboard, 5,000 score above Silly Kitty, actually. Columbus 13 definitely deserved of being all the way up there at the top. Goj kind of talked about it. MVP, it kind of felt like in that jet. Not going to get top Slayer, not going to get top Medic, but felt like definitely had the most impact for No Mercy.
Yeah, I like that shout a lot. Some fun stats across the board. Taking a look at College Dropouts again, I mean, the revive category is really what my eyes are drawn to. Like, obviously you see, 21 June 1934, I guess an important date for this player, but either way you look at it, 45 revives and the top score, which is huge. I mean, that's massive. But everybody else really didn't do all that much in the revive category, which is brutal when you're on the attack. I mean, it's one of the reasons that our lives tick down so quickly, especially on B1 and B2. I think that's where I would say maybe this is a coordination error. Maybe we didn't talk enough about which squads should be playing Stinger, which squads should be prioing, picking players up. I don't know. Some fun conversations there, but of course we do see two members of Du Bois near the top of the leaderboard there. Yellow Love was putting in work, saw a couple heroic individual plays from Yellow Love as per the usual, so a shout out to the Du Bois. They did play pretty well, unfortunately couldn't piece it all together for their overall team, but again, a top medic over there. But you're right, Bossia, Domcrat 46 on the other side. I can only imagine they're going to be our top medic overall based on what we saw in the first game as well. But some fun stats across the board. Again, I think I look at our assists, I look at some of our vehicle gameplay and vehicle games, and our vehicle operators really changed the game, Vivid, as always here in Warfare, but even more so on Fault.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Some names kind of shout out there that were, obviously we have Columbus, who we saw in the jet multiple times. On the attack side of things, we know Silly Kitty was in the helicopter for No Mercy. Another individual that I saw a bunch in some of those ground vehicles as well, that's going to be Element right there. down in 14th place, not necessarily finding insane value on the defensive side of things, but definitely had an impact playing into some of those vehicles. A little bit of a shout out as well to John the Bomb from College Dropouts, right? We saw them multiple times try to kind of find some sort of foothold in the vehicle game, right?
Yeah.
Actually showing expertise in not only, you know, the helicopter, but also some of those ground vehicles as well. So was trying to put up some sort of effort right there, but you know, in the end of things, just way too much dominance for No Mercy.
Yeah, the unsung hero, John the Bomb, was in the skies, just harrying the jet the best they could with a helicopter. After losing the dogfight between the two jets, it was going to be extremely difficult to get that jet out of the sky. Talked a little bit about anti-air missiles from the ground, certainly helpful. Helicopter able to do a decent bit of damage, but not able to cut it down, and meant that Columbus could kind of do whatever they wanted. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff across the board. But in terms of overall score, it's pretty obvious that No Mercy was the best team overall. Let's take a look at that overall leaderboard, though. It is a back-to-back win for No Mercy. Like we've said, 558,000 score and 720 kills in 2 games, with one of those games being pretty quick, frankly, because we ended up B1 and B2. That's actually a pretty impressive amount of kills between basically 1.5 games here, Vivid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks like they were about 100 kills ahead on each single one of those teams, right? So, you know, obviously we know they won the match, so they're definitely going to be ahead in the kills. But hey, listen, 100 in each one of those games, kind of feeling like incredible stuff, and good for them to kind of keep composure going into game number 2 there with, you know, knowing, hey, listen, our qual's on the line right now. We could just win this game, we could go. But yeah, No Mercy, just cold.
Yeah, all right. Let's take a look at our pricing overall and see who our individual reward winners are and our top teams. Of course, we know No Mercy won $6,000 as a team split between all players. However, Jinx, is this correct? Jinx ended up picking up top medic, and Store Life was our top slayer because of the first game prowess. Wow, a bit surprising. I wasn't expecting this one.
You know what's crazy is that Store Life, I don't know if you remember, right before we went to the aerial fight, I was like, you know, Store Life's on Nox. Like, what do we feel about the value there? And, you know, kind of proving, hey, Vivid, shut up, bro. Nox is getting me top slayer, getting me $500. So shout out to Store Life picking up the most kills on an operator that I didn't necessarily felt like was finding a lot of value in Warfare. But hey, you know, I love to be wrong.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Store Life picked up 47 kills in the first game. The reason Store Life's our top slayer is because they were top slayer in the first game by like almost 20 kills over everybody